Hello and welcome to Garage Rock, the podcast. My name is Steve, and sauntering opposite me right now is Mr. Cameron Banfield. How are you doing, mate?
Good, mate. How are you? What is sauntering?
I don't know. You kind of just... It was as if you were sort of in a... Curtsying with like lifting your shirt a bit. I don't know why.
My daughter has been teaching me a little bit of her ballet dances, which is kind of cool. It's cool to learn stuff like that. I don't know, because you know how you always see them pointing their toes?
Yes.
Like out to the front or to the side?
Yes.
I always thought, okay, you got to point your big toe down and, get a nice point. Mm-hmm. The trick is to, when you point your toe, is your little toe sort of touches the ground.
Right.
And see how that looks like a nicer point than if I was going like that? See what I mean?
Welcome to the Garage Rock podcast. As I said, my name is Steve. We've got a big show tonight.
We certainly do.
Actually, going back on ballet, I had to. My phone was out of contract and blah blah blah. I went to Telstra shop in Frankston, and they had a big screen at the back wall because they're celebrating their 35th anniversary of partnering with the Australian Ballet.
Oh, really?
So there was just slow motion shots of ballerinas and ballerine dudes.
So Garage Rock the podcast.
All I'm saying is, where do they tuck the junk? The guys.
Oh, they'll probably snip it off, but...
We do have a big show. We've got to talk about Cam's fantastic gig that he went to the other night, Gyroscope.
Had a very nice time there, Steve. I've got to tell you that.
Oh, definitely. We've also got some news. We've got the download dates for Download Festival, the third annual Download Festival. It's coming back for a third year. Must be doing something right, Cam.
I know. I downloaded them on my phone just before, so they're all there ready to go, so I don't forget.
Fantastic. And we've also got the Good Things Festival sideshows have been announced.
Nothing but good things there, Steve. I'll tell you that right now too. I'm telling you everything right now.
Oh, good. Well, we won't have time for anything later then.
I know.
Our question of the week as well, and we've got new music, and we'll be celebrating a milestone in our new music, Cam.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. We're hitting our 250th song for... New music. How good is that? Like, that's a lot of songs, isn't it, Steve?
Exactly. Now, let's start at number one. I can't remember what our first track was. Nevermind.
That wasn't Nevermind.
It wasn't Nevermind. No. Speaking of Nevermind, though, it is Halloween, and I've come straight from work.
Steve rocked up at my house.
Yep.
I opened the door, and he's still in costume, still in character almost.
Yeah.
No, he still had the wig on, the sunnies, the shirt, and the ripped jeans, and the shoes, and all that. Yeah. But yeah, you were Kurt Cobain today, Steve. Why?
Well, our work, because we're recording this on Halloween Eve. For some reason at work, they wanted to celebrate Halloween the day before. I don't know why.
Yeah, why didn't you do it, tomorrow when it's,
because
Halloween?
I don't know. But I work for a big company. No one knew who Kurt Cobain was.
Really?
No one. Actually, I walked into work because we were raising money. You dress up and we were raising money for juvenile diabetes, right? Come in.
I don't know why that's funny. It is.
Yeah, little fat kids. Now, I was walking in, I get in there, and everyone's looking at me just going, oh, who are you coming as? It's easy to go as Kurt Cobain for me because I just dress normally and then just put a wig on top.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
That's it.
And so anyway, no one picked me for the whole day. Everyone's like, oh, who's this guy? I even had a left-handed guitar. No one knew who I was. The only person who got it was a homeless guy. I was on my way back to the station. This guy goes out, hey man, you look like Kurt Cobain. I gave my donation to the diabetes kids to him because I was just like, fuck it. He was the only person who picked it.
Hey, did you see that Kurt Cobain's cigarette singed cardigan from MTV Unplugged went up for auction and sold for almost $500,000?
That is insane.
That's crazy. And you wore it today. Like, I would have kept it in a glass case if I was you.
Well, I've got to go to work. I've got to pay off the $500,000 jumper I just bought. So,
true. But that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, speaking of Kurt Cobain, 90s. We're going to get into that later.
Oh, yes, that's right.
But I'll tell you right now.
Yes.
We're going to get into that later. But, Steve, on last Friday night, I went off.
I don't know why we just high-fived, but yeah.
Oh, I'm still excited about it because I went and saw Gyroscope playing their For Your Love EP tour.
Yes.
And they played in Frankston on Friday night, and it was a real nice, intimate show at the Pally Bar.
Yep.
And I went off, Steve.
Went off?
I went off. They went off. It was just awesome.
Yeah.
Had a great time. I felt like 2006 again because everyone that was cool went out and, we'd be at Pally Bar every weekend. Yeah. And, it was cool. So the guys went off, but Dan Sanders, my man.
Your man, Dan Sanders.
He come out into the crowd at one point, or a few points in throughout the set.
And you were front row centre.
Yeah. It was pretty easy. And, like, everyone was... Like, it was like Grinspoon where it wasn't squished and, everyone's grown up.
To begin with.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. And he come out and he's just going off and just rocking out with guitar. The song ends. So he decides that he'll lift up his guitar from the end and shove it up into the air-conditioned vent.
Right.
So the air-conditioned vent, the grate falls down and he's up there just shoving it, like really trying to get it up there for ages. Like, the end of the song, the guitar's going ding, ding, and he's like really shoving it up there. So I did what any great fan would do is I lifted him up and got him up higher so he could get the guitar in there further.
Aren't you a legend?
Helped out a bit.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
I just found that funny. I'm like, he looks like he's struggling to get it up there. Maybe I'll help him a bit.
Cam, you were the Viagra. He was struggling to get it up as he was trying to get it in there, and you thought, he needs some help getting it in there a bit deeper. I'll help him up. So, well done, Cam. You are now officially Viagra.
I think they could tell I was having the time of my life. I was there with my wife, a lot of friends. I don't have to mention all their names, but, there's a few.
They know who they are.
They know who they are. And we're all going off and they started playing Save Forever.
Yes.
One of my favourite songs.
Save forever. Yeah. Forever.
And guess who got to sing that bit?
Dan Sanders, I assume.
No, he passed me the microphone.
Yeah.
Literally passed it to me. And when that bit come on, he obviously wanted me to sing it. So I sang that. There's a video. We should put it up.
We should put it up.
I already did.
Oh.
It's on our Instagram.
Yeah, we'll definitely look that up.
Yeah, check that out. So I got to sing Save Forever, and that's like another bucket list moment for me that he's done. And you see that orange guitar pick?
Yes.
He gave me that too.
Oh, aren't you lucky?
That was cool, and gave me a big handshake at the end. And for anyone that knows me, that Gyroscope, probably one of my all-time favourite bands, up there.
Up there. Oh, yeah, definitely.
So to do that was cool. And it was Rob Nassif, the drummer's last gig, so that was sad.
Yep.
Had a chat with him at the end and got a photo with him as well.
Also on our Instagram.
I told him not to leave, but I understand. He's going on to manage a few bands.
Okay, well, that's something. He's still sticking in the scene.
He's definitely still in the scene. He owns a rehearsal studio in Perth. So still doing it, but hopefully do some interviews with his bands that he's got going. Nice. We'll see how we go with that.
Oh, fantastic. Did you tell him to listen to our show?
I did. I sent him from Garage Rock the podcast.
So I can assume he's listening right now.
Oh, without a doubt.
Hello, Rob.
Yes, hello, Rob, and thank you so much for your contribution to Gyroscope and rock and roll. It's been freaking awesome.
Yeah, fantastic. And I saw it because there was footage. Someone filmed it on the stage, panning out over to the crowd, and you were there, front row, right centre, just throwing your hair into it. And someone actually, your friend did send a photo of you with your hair up, looking exactly like Kramer from Seinfeld. So might even compare the pair and put that on our Instagram as well, if possible.
Oh, definitely. But my neck is only just getting better today, and that was 5 days ago.
Yeah. And they were playing a gig the following day in Cairns or something, a couple of days later in Cairns, and half the band missed their flight. Yes. So, well, life of a rock star.
Yeah, I know. That's what you got to do, isn't it?
Exactly. So, actually, speaking of getting a guitar and ramming it in something, I went to see UMI years and years ago, and we were playing at, I think it was like the Hallam Hotel, and there was not much of a crowd there, if I'm being honest. It was pretty intimate, and there were just a whole lot of drunk people who I don't even think that I think they just came in from the gaming room or something like that. They weren't supposed to be there. Anyway, they were just having a shit night. It was like just not the band themselves, but they were having issues with like instruments. The mics were cutting in and out, and you can see Tim Rogers was just furious. Like it was through no fault of their own. It was just a shit night, and he was playing one song acoustically with like a small acoustic guitar, and then like he did the song, and the crowd. Like, we were there, we'll get into it, but like there were all these dickheads up the back who couldn't give a shit, and he's playing, and there's all these dickheads in the back. The guitar kept cutting out, and at the end of the song, he just like finished the song, took the guitar off, and just threw it into a brick wall and smashed it. But he also got his guitar like during the show, and he did the same thing. He sort of like reached it up by the bottom of the guitar and he pushed it through the roof of the stage in front of it. It was just a shit night, and they kind of like they finished. They thanked all of us who were at the front clapping, and then they kind of just legged it.
I don't know what it is. It's kind of cool to see. Like it's like something's taken them over. Like it's always been like that with Gyroscope. Like they just always go off.
White line fever. But as soon as you get up on the stage, you're in the zone.
Yeah, that's exactly what Dan Sanders said when we interviewed him for his 13 project.
Yeah.
And that they just get in the zone, and it's like you going to war kind of thing. Like it's just, I guess everything just blacks out, and you're just
you're
in the moment,
do a job.
And that's what you want. I think that's what people really respond to, don't they? Because I was just losing it, Steve.
Yeah.
Like I didn't plan on hurting my neck and not being able to talk for the next 3 days. It just happened.
Now you know what I've been doing for the past however many years. You look at me and you're like, what the fuck's Steve doing?
I used to do it, Steve, but I just can't do it anymore, and I've just proven it. Proven it to you.
Wow. Sounds like you got a Viagra stuck in your throat. And that's something actually, because I was talking to this girl at work like years ago, and she went to see Justin Bieber, right?
Yeah.
And she said it was so boring. He didn't want to be there. It was so formulaic.
Oh, yeah.
He hardly looked at the crowd. He kind of just walked around, just sung the songs, and then that was it. There was no sort of conversations. There was no sort of atmosphere. He kind of like just... It was so choreographed, where he walked, how he walked, into the different positions, the dance moves. Everything was just so choreographed that there was no sort of personality to the show at all.
Yeah, that's
and
yuck.
it's like, exactly, whereas like you go to you going into that Gyroscope gig, even Dan Sanders going into that Gyroscope gig, was he planning on shoving his guitar into that air conditioner?
I doubt that very much.
Probably 10 seconds before that happened, he thought, fuck it, I'm just going to stick my guitar head in that thing. And that's probably how it happened. And yeah, good on it. Rock and roll.
That's great. Because originally, the first time he came out, he just decided to come out in the crowd and play guitar. And then he's like, oh, shit, I've got to sing. So he just sort of reaches around and swings the mic stand around and starts playing guitar and singing in the crowd.
Yeah.
And it's just cool.
Yeah.
Like, it really makes everyone feel like they're a part of it, and real showman. That's what you want, Steve.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's just when people say that, like something like the Justin Bieber thing, you just walk around, hey girl, and it's just so forced.
Oh my God, he looked at me.
Exactly. Although I was kind of like that when Bono looked at me. Now, moving on, we do have the Download Festival dates.
Oh, downloaded to my phone.
For 2020.
You used that joke
twice.
already.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, no, our listeners are used to that. Now, we're going to just spill out the dates. So we don't have a lot of information at the moment, so I'm just going to give it all to you right now. So, Download 2020.
This is hot off the press, people.
Exactly. Kind of. We got the email this morning. Anyway, you probably already know this, but Friday the 20th of March at Melbourne Showgrounds in Melbourne, and Saturday the 21st of March at Parramatta Park in Sydney. Now, the first lineup announcement will be released 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday, November 6th. And if you want all that information straight away, you can sign up to their newsletter at downloadfestival.com.au, and I'm sure that's where you'll be able to get your tickets and all of the information. Cam, are we getting excited?
I'm getting excited because I can't wait to find out the lineup. Who do you reckon? Sode? System of a Down.
Don't get my hopes up, Cam.
Slipknot because Metallica cancelled, or maybe Slipknot and Metallica?
Probably not. I don't want to sort of overshoot things here, but look,
I'd be disappointed if I'd bought tickets to Metallica and Slipknot and then they just end up playing Download. I'd be disappointed.
I don't think that'll be the case.
I don't think so either.
Although what you said last week, I think it was our last show, Slipknot aren't playing with Metallica anymore. Maybe Download Festival.
Yeah.
Maybe. They might just jump on and headline that.
Yeah,
although I think they'll do a proper tour. I think they'll do a tour.
Who, Slipknot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Some people are saying Tool, Iron Maiden.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Ozzy because he pulled out last year because of illness.
Yeah, good point.
Maybe he'll redeem himself.
Yeah, true, because it ended up being Slayer being the headliner because Ozzy Osbourne pulled out in 2019.
Slayer!
But I'm kind of wondering where they're going to go because the first download here was nu metal and punk. We had Korn, Limp Bizkit,
yeah,
Good Charlotte, Prophets of Rage. We had a lot of sort of punk and nu metal bands from that late 90s, early noughties sort of era. And then last year we had, Slayer, Anthrax, Ozzy Osbourne was supposed to be playing.
Very metal.
It was quite metal, and it was quite like a lot of those 80s bands and some of the 90s bands. With Judas Priest as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. So,
well, the release they put out today, obviously, with all the dates and venues and everything.
Yep.
There is a picture of Fred Durst on that, and they were saying something like rolling out the dates or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know whether it's just artsy, or is Limp Bizkit going to play again this year?
Well, you wouldn't have the same band play twice in 3 years, would you?
Well, it's been done before.
True. I don't know. It'll be interesting, but I think that they just wanted to, remind people of that 2 years ago when they did Rollin',
I wouldn't be upset if they did. I reckon they were awesome.
They were awesome, actually, yeah. So it'll be interesting sort of not only who it will be, but what the kind of theme will be. Because like I said before, it was like that 90s, early noughties the first time, and then 80s kind of the second time. So, yeah.
Maybe Iron Maiden and Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
That kind of...
Old school again?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know. We shall see.
We shall see. Maybe Tool as well. That will be interesting.
Yeah.
But Cam, a festival that already has been announced, which we've discussed about numerous times on the show.
And we're excited about.
Oh, fuck yeah. Good Things Festival. We have some sideshow announcements, Cam.
Yes, that's right, Stephen. As we mentioned previously, Good Things Festival will be returning to Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane this December 6th, 7th and 8th. Now, Parkway Drive, Data Remember, Violent Soho, Simple Plan, Bad Religion, Trivium, all those absolute legends. Yeah. Heaps more playing.
Oh, yeah, heaps more.
Good lineup.
Absolutely.
They just hit the nail on the head this year.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Coheed and Cambria have pulled out due to their drummer, Josh Eppard, requiring to have surgery to fix a problem with his heart.
Yes.
So it's I was disappointed because I really wanted to see them. Yep. I don't think I've ever seen them live. Maybe at a big day out.
Taste of Chaos.
Taste of Chaos. I'm glad you know my life. You know my life better than I do.
By the way, you have a dentist appointment at 12 tomorrow morning, so don't forget.
No, I thought it was at 2:30. Oh, God. It was always going to happen, wasn't it?
Unfortunately, yes.
Look, we completely understand that he's that they've had to pull out, but they could have got another drummer. But
maybe they didn't want to, Cam. Maybe they didn't want to. And we wish Josh all the best and the band.
Not all drummers are easy to replace.
Exactly.
Trust me, I know. Now, we have 5 announcements, Steve.
Yes.
All side shows. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
How good are side shows?
They're fantastic.
Can we go to all of them?
I don't think we can actually physically do that. They're all at the same time, some of them.
Shit, yeah, they are, aren't they?
Well, you go to one, I'll go to the other.
Okay.
Yep.
If you want to get tickets, go to destroyallines.com. Now, Simple Plan.
Yes.
My boys.
Yes.
Who we saw at...
Warped Tour.
Warped Tour, the last ever Warped Tour that played in Melbourne.
Yep.
At Beer on Mars. It was awesome.
Beer on Mars. Sorry, that was a bad venue. I don't want to talk ill of the Warped Tour, but that was not a great venue for it.
Great place, but
it's a great place,
probably
but
should have been at Showgrounds, I reckon.
Yeah. Anyway.
The Simple Plan are playing Tuesday, December 10th at CBD Live on the Gold Coast, and Thursday, December 12th at HQ in Radelaide.
Yes.
Now, Trivium, Steve.
Trivium.
Now, if you want to get your metal fix,
since
if you didn't get to see Metallica,
check
out Trivium on Wednesday, December 4th at UC Refectory in Canberra.
Yes. Now, speaking of another band that you're friends with, had a good catch up at the Warped Tour with, Real Big Fish.
Yes. I love these guys.
I'm looking forward to seeing them at Good Things.
Put on a funny show as well.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. Now, they're playing Wednesday, December 4 at Crowbar in Sydney and Thursday, December 5 at 170 Russell in Melbourne.
Pry yourself into Crowbar.
Exactly. Now, we also have Enter Shikari. They're playing Thursday, December 5th at Croxton Band Room in Melbourne.
Great venue, too, to go see a band like that. I reckon they'd be perfect.
Absolutely. And finally, we've also got Ice Nine Kills.
Certainly does.
And they're playing Wednesday, December 4 at Lansdowne Hotel in Sydney and Thursday, December 5 at Stay Gold in Melbourne. Now, all of these bands will be joined by special guests at their show. So maybe their parents. I don't know. Who are their special guests?
Who would be more special than their parents,
Absolutely.
Steve?
Maybe their kids.
Oh, wow.
Maybe their wives and girlfriends, or both. And our tickets are on sale now and available from tickets.destroyallines.com. So
.au without the .au.
Exactly.
Now, Steve,
yes,
we have had another great response for our question of the week.
Have we what?
I'm really honestly grateful yet again for everyone that's written in.
And listens.
Of course. Hang on, excuse me. Oh, you chew it. This hay fever's making me croaky.
Oh, and these pretzels are making me thirsty.
Well, I am Kramer.
Of course.
Apparently.
But overwhelming response.
Yeah, it's been great. So for those that don't remember, it's what song best resents? Why do you resent the 90s?
Did you see Happy Pants? Do you remember Happy Pants?
I do.
That's why I resent the 90s.
Yeah.
No, I think you meant to say represents the 90s.
Yeah, represents the 90s, everyone.
That's it.
So it's a lung cookie. It's just working the lung cookie through.
Can't get it out.
What song best Fuck you, Steve.
I didn't do anything.
I'm going to have a sip of water.
Okay, try it again without abusing.
Do you know what?
What?
We're not having a red wine this week. That's why.
You know what? Yeah, because
alcohol makes everything better.
You know, because I've been taking antihistamines. You put a couple of red wines on top of that, be fucking flying, Cam. And I'm too fat to fly. So, would you like to try it again?
What song best represents the 1990s?
Congratulations. Now, we did have an overwhelming
Congratulations. You finished a sentence. Good work.
Yeah, that's what they used to say to you back in the 1990s when you were 5.
If we were side by side, you would have given me a nice pat on the back, wouldn't you?
Nice. I'd tap on the arse. Now, we had an overwhelming response and we couldn't get to everyone, but let's just say we had a shitload of people, and I mean, Cam, a shitload of people.
So for the people that did miss out on getting on, blame Steve.
Yeah. Well, I'm blaming the shitload of people who said smells like Teen Spirit.
Yes.
How many people said I lost count?
Well, you gotta agree with that. You know?
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with it.
You dressed up like Kurt Cobain today.
Exactly.
Of course you're gonna.
Exactly.
I can't do me high pitched voice anymore. I'm spewing.
Oh well, whatever. Never mind.
People.
So let's just get that out there first. So there's no Smells Like Teen Spirit coming up, but we do have some more. Cam, would you like to read out the first batch?
Yes, Steve. Michael has written in and said, "Moving on up" by M People.
We're moving on up. Time to break wind. Nothing can stop me.
Nolene has said, "Stop right now. Thank you very much" by the Spice Girls. Gotta agree with her because I love them. I said "gree" because "agree" wouldn't have fit.
No, it wouldn't have fit.
Yeah.
Next, please.
Pete has said, "I Want It That Way" by Backstreet Boys. I want
we don't have to sing these all. Next. I'm just ordering you around now. Next, hurry up.
Brian drove my Chevy to the levee and the levee was Bri. Brian has said "Bullet with Butterfly Wings" by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yes.
Oh, hell yes.
Absolutely.
Could not agree more with that bad boy.
Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
Who could forget little rat boy? Steve, stop gnawing on the wall. Kathy. Oh, another lung cookie. Oh, get it in you, people.
Oh, it's out of me now.
God. Kathy has said, "What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more." by Hadaway.
What is love? Baby,
Lucas
don't hurt me.
has said, "Right on Time" by Black Box or Oprah Winfrey.
What, because she's found at the bottom of the ocean after a plane crash?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly, that's what you meant. Yeah. Yes, Jesus. What did Paul say, Kim?
Paul said, "Didn't, they do what they told ya. Didn't, they do what they told ya." Killing in the Name of by Rage Against the Machine, Steve. Now, yes, I know that's all up in your jizz right now.
It is all,
I can feel it.
It's all out of my
jizz. I can see it seeping. Kate has said a freaking awesome one, which takes me back as well. "Blind" by Korn.
Ooh.
Are you right? Even the whole start to that song is fucking cool. It's kind of creepy and just
Cornish.
Sets up the whole song. Yeah, it's very Cornish.
It's very Cornish.
Yeah, not corny.
No.
Cornish.
That was also seconded by Adam, who was just like, he saw that comment and was just like, I want to be noted too. Hear me as well.
Lexi's written in and he said, Hey Jealousy by Gin Blossoms. Another great one.
Absolutely.
I'd do that, but that's too high for me to sing at the moment. Hey Jealousy.
Yeah, it's a good thing you didn't attempt it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Exactly. If his baby was listening, you've just woke her up. Congratulations, well done. And also we had Brad has left us a message here.
Bread. Steve, it's time to go to bread.
I think it almost is, Cam.
Brad has said, okay, I genuinely love the podcast, lads, but you've simply gone too far. Stepped over the line. How the hell can you simply pick one song that best represents the 90s? I agree, it is very tough, isn't it?
But we asked the tough questions. We may as well be Yarn Event.
Yeah. He goes on to say, such an influential era for many of us. He said, Interstate Love Song by Stone Temple Pilots.
Of course.
Yep. Alive by Pearl Jam.
I mean, yeah.
That's all up in your Pearl Jam. Everlong by Foo Fighters. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like, that song really does just take you right back then, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. 97.
Just think about it for a second.
Yep.
Everlong.
Oh, the Saints was
Love
good.
the drumming in that song too.
Yeah.
And I love the drumming in this song, especially at the start. Longview by Green Day.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone loves the song about masturbation.
Yeah.
He goes on to say, mind blown, way too many to choose. Best era by far. Love your work. So thank you very much, Brad.
Absolutely,
Legend.
Brad. Thank you for writing in. We did have other people write in as well. Amy said Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden and Faith by Limp Bizkit.
Oh.
Because I got to have faith.
I love that version.
Got the fuck up.
Yeah, that gets me going, that song. I used to play that in a band too, and sorry, I just spat all over you. That's how excited I am.
Exactly. That's half a cookie. Did it all for the cookie. Darren said you're right there. Sorry, shouldn't have said that while you were drinking.
Swallowing.
Exactly. That's why I don't tell jokes while getting blown. Darren said the whole Nirvana MTV Unplugged album.
Oh,
I mean,
so fitting. We're just talking about the Cardigan.
Exactly.
I got that on vinyl.
The Cardigan. Yeah. The Cardigans. Do you remember the Cardigans?
Yeah, I do. Love me,
yes.
Say that you love me.
Yep.
Do you remember the film clip of that?
No.
That film clip, if I remember right, I remember watching it with my parents and not really understanding, but I knew it was awkward.
Loveful.
Yeah, Loveful. It's like, I can't remember exactly. It's like old strippers. Or old people wearing lingerie,
right?
Kind of thing. Yeah,
I can't remember the clip myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look over that.
Just out of curiosity, what do you think's worth more, Kurt Cobain's Cardigan or the band The Cardigans?
Kurt Cobain's Cardigan.
No question.
Yeah.
That's a bit harsh. Anyway, fuck him. Stephen said Poison by. Stephen said Poison by The Prodigy.
Did ya?
No, a different Stephen.
Oh, different Stephen.
Don't call me Stephen.
There's more. Don't call me Stephen.
There's more Stephens than just me. I prefer Steve. Except if my mum's listening, Stephen. Tiffany said, and I kind of agreed with this. This was a song that popped into the back of my head. 1 Week by the Bare Naked Ladies. Yeah, it's been 1 week since you looked at me. Chicken to Chinese chicken. Yeah, that's that represents that whole era of the 90s, the late 90s, that kind of weird shit.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I must say as well, Tiffany, you can give us your real name. You don't have to give us your stripper name when you write in.
Michael said Cigarettes and Alcohol by Oasis. Now, actually, when I went to see UMI a couple of weeks ago, they walked out on stage to this song as well. It's quite a 90s.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah.
Brilliant. It's from their debut album. Definitely, maybe. Now, Sarah, she's written in and she said Basket Case by Green Day.
Oh, yes. Well, I was saying the other day, I love how songs start with just guitar, especially when they're palm muted.
Yeah.
And sung over. Fucking awesome.
Basket Case all the way. Sean said It's All Right by East 17.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be all right.
And the fashion of East 17 too, you know. Do you remember, that was so 90s. I think they had the pockets out.
Yep.
And
berets. Do they have a beret? One of them have a beret.
Berets and,
I don't know, vests.
And hats.
Oh, God.
And they also had eyes and noses and mouths and
quite ahead of their time.
Ears too.
Oh,
held together with like a face. I stole that from Frank Woodley, but I credit him for that joke. Steve, next.
And JP has written in and he said, now this is, you just saw these guys perform live in Las Vegas, Cam.
Yes.
I Swear by Boys to Men.
Oh, totally awesome, Steve.
Yeah. Did they play? They would have played it. I'm sure.
For sure.
Like 4 times.
Yeah, and that was it. Show's over. Thanks for coming. It was awesome. And, you know, what speaks 90s more than a bit of Boys to Men? You know, 90s R&B.
Oh, yeah.
Takes me back, Steve.
Oh, absolutely. And Trav has written in and he said... the theme from Seinfeld.
Yeah, we got a theme going from Seinfeld and Nirvana today.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Yeah, we do. I mean, how awesome is that? That, you play just even the opening bass riffs from that. Yeah. Everyone knows what you're talking about.
It's an awesome bass line, isn't it? Can you play it?
No.
Oh, come on. That's your goal, to learn it.
To learn.
And play it, and then you can rest easy for the rest of your life. You've mastered it.
Don't need to work. Everything's fine. Everything's going to be all right. Now, we also had Brenton and Christine were having a bit of a discussion on our Facebook page, which was pretty awesome. Now, Brenton said, I think it's impossible to ignore the cultural impact of Smells Like Teen Spirit on at least the first half of the decade on the rock front, if not the whole decade. He then went on to say, but the 90s also had enormous movements in pop with Spice Girls, and then Max Martin had his first of many number ones with Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time, which was massive. I mean, that was fucking huge.
Hot.
And he established the pop song formula that would dominate hip-hop with Tupac.
Oh, Tupac's cool. Love him. I saw an interview with Snoop Dogg the other day.
Yeah?
On Howard Stern. And he was talking about a time how he was in, I think he was in LA somewhere. Mm-hmm. And he was out of weed. He didn't have weed. It's when you couldn't get weed, and obviously Snoop Dogg needed some weed. So he calls up Tupac and says, man, you got to help me out. I really need some weed. So he's like, I'm busy right now, but I got you, bro. I got you. He comes over in his limo, wherever the hell he was, and who's with him? Madonna. And he's like, nothing was really said, but you could look in Madonna in the eye, and he pretty much said you knew that he was banging her.
Yeah. Jeez.
So there you go, Madonna and Tupac.
There we go. Brenton went on to say, Brit rock as well with Oasis, Blur and Placebo.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. And pop punk, skate punk with The Offspring, Green Day, and then nu metal with Korn. So it probably truthfully depends on your tastes. For me, what the 90s sounds like is a strange mash of Smells Like Teen Spirit, When I Come Around, Wonderwall, Wannabe, and Hit Me Baby One More Time, with someone awkwardly mixing Matchbox 20, Counting Crows, Shaggy, and Peter Andre in there.
Totally.
Finishing up by saying the 90s were weird, which is pretty true.
They sure were, but you know, it was also like what movies you're into at the time, like the songs that are in the movies or TV shows and things like that.
Yeah, if you saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film...
man, I loved it. I remember seeing them at the movies.
Did Prince do that? Prince did Batman.
Prince did Batman, yeah. Batman, the original one with Michael Keaton.
Yeah, but that was 80s, so we're not talking about 80s. That. Yeah. But no, someone did Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go Ninja.
Ice Cube. Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice. No, that's
Vanilla
right.
Ice.
Fuck me. I
Ice
can't believe.
Cube.
Wow.
Ice Tea, Ice Cube. Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice. That's it. I knew it was somewhere in the confectionery aisle. What did Christine reply, though?
Christine said she's on the same wavelength, going on to say perhaps the reintroduction of mainstream ska bands such as Just a Girl, you know, by No Doubt.
Yeah.
Just a Girl. Yeah, I didn't realise that they were like heavily ska when they started, No Doubt. And then obviously got a bit more punky and a bit more rocky, and then obviously her going into her pop stuff later on, which I freaking love Gwen Stefani. She's awesome. She doesn't look like she's 50.
No,
she aged a bit.
Exactly.
And Christine goes on to say also What I Got by Sublime.
Yeah.
You know, just classic ska, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Just chill out, have a few backy bongs or whatever. And the swing revival of the mid to late 90s, you know, Jump, Jive and Wail by Brian Setz's orchestra. You know, jump, jiving, then you gotta jump, jiving, then you away. I even did the actions to that.
I know. Jesus, if only our listeners could have seen that.
I've played in a lot of ska bands over the time, which, playing stuff like that's so much fun.
Or this next song, Cam. She also said,
Zoot Riot. Riot. That's right, Zoot Suit Right by Cherry Poppin' Daddies.
Yeah. And she also went on to say
the 90s are weird.
Yes. So that's what our listeners have had to say. And thank you very much for writing in. Remember, garagerockpodcast@gmail.com, and also our Facebook and Instagram. And we do have a Twitter. We don't know how to use it, but we do have a Twitter. But Cam, now I want to know what your song would represent of the 90s for you.
Oh, mate. Well, this was very, very tough, as we keep saying. Like, all those are freaking awesome.
Absolutely.
You know, but for me, the thing that popped out the most is 1993.
Yeah.
Going on my I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it on this show before.
Mm-hmm.
Going to my parents' old stereo play, you know, the silver ones with the big turning knobs.
Yep.
And putting the headphones in and just listening to the radio really loud on some rock station. I don't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
The Cranberries.
Oh, yes.
Zombie
by the Cranberries.
Yes. That, to me, ever since then, like, that had a huge effect on me. Just the sound and, you know, just the whole song. Just absolutely going off. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is amazing. This is like music to my ears or something. I don't know.
And it was literally to your ears, Cam.
Exactly.
Wow.
And so whenever I hear that song, it reminds me of the 90s, only being 8 years old, listening to that, and it just takes me back. And ever since then, obviously hear it around everywhere. And it was great. The other day, my daughter was sitting in front of the TV or something, and she started singing it. I haven't introduced that song at all to her. Maybe my wife did, I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But it was a proud moment for me. She's almost 8.
Yeah.
So isn't that just crazy?
Wow. That's pretty cool, man.
And that's when I discovered it. But Steve, enough about me. Oh. What do you think about me?
Can never get enough about you, Cam. Can never get enough. I would have to just baseline sort of say, smells like Teen Spirit. I mean, to me, I dressed as Kurt Cobain. Yeah. I mean, I dressed as Kirsten Dunst and
Kurt Cobain. Now, Steve, I'm happy that you said that, because I know that how much that means to you.
It's probably my favourite song, and it's just such an anthemic track that I think so. But I mean, there are so many, so many people have said, it's so hard to sort of pigeonhole like the entire decade into just one rock song.
Yeah, it is.
There's like the subgenres, and there's so many different songs, and it's a whole decade, and that came out in 1991 as well.
Yeah.
So that's right at the start. Look, Alanis Morissette.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was one of those sort of 90s artists that really was sort of made a huge impact in the 90s, and sort of, you know, she didn't fade into obscurity, but that was her peak, let's face it.
Yeah, she was only 21 when she wrote Jagged Little Pill.
It's crazy.
Well, she was probably younger. I think it came out when she was 21.
Yeah.
So that's just mental.
Yeah.
To be able to write that caliber of music at that age, you know, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Silverchair,
exactly.
Silverchair being 16 writing Frog Stomp. Jesus
exactly.
Christ. I couldn't write that now.
I know, but I mean, I'm thinking even like, you know, Smash by The Offspring was huge. Yeah. Dookie by Green Day. So it's just so, and if we're talking in a rock sense, so it's so hard to sort of narrow down.
Speaking of weird, The Presidents.
The Presidents, you know, exactly.
Played a big part of my life growing up. So
of course. And it's one of those things, it is hard to sort of pigeonhole, but that's the thing. We ask these questions and then we don't actually think about what our answers would be until it comes to now, and then we go, shit.
Yeah.
That'll be a good question. Yeah.
Now we've got to answer it.
Oh, Jesus. What's everyone else said? What's the story, Morning Glory? Another 90s album that's, so, I don't know, Morning Glory, I think, as well. Yeah.
The 90s were fucking cool, man.
Oh, they absolutely were.
Are we those old people that say, how cool were the 90s?
Exactly.
Imagine if we were a bit older in the 90s as well. Like we could have appreciated it so much more, you know?
Yeah, but then we would have been too old to appreciate Limp Bizkit. So, you know, swings and roundabouts.
It is, isn't it?
But Ken, what is our question for next week?
Well, next week, in the spirit of Dan Sanders shoving a guitar in an air vent,
yes,
I thought it would be cool to ask, what is the craziest thing you have seen a rock star do? And that's
very interesting.
Or anyone on stage, you know, don't have to be a rock star. Well, I suppose it could be a sex show in Amsterdam.
Yeah, I'm not going to bring that up again.
No, not again. No, okay, rock star. I want to know what people have seen, like just great people hanging from rafters or, you know.
Eddie Vedder's one for that. He used to risk his life pretty much every time he'd go out on stage.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So we want to hear, what is the craziest thing you have seen a rock star do? Hit us up, garagerockpodcast@gmail.com. We'll also put it up on our socials. But it's time now, Cam, for new music.
That's right, Steve. And first up, we have Silver by DMA'S.
DMA'S.
Your boys, one of your favourites, Steve.
I do like DMA'S.
That's right. Now, after relentless touring following their second studio album, For Now, Sydney rockers DMA'S have released their latest single, Silver, and it's an absolute cracker,
Absolutely.
Steve.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's really is typical DMA'S, isn't it? And what they're doing is fucking fantastic. Yeah, so seriously, the DMA, it's DMA'S at their best, Steve.
Yeah.
It's just such a really well-written and produced track.
Yeah.
This will definitely help them get a greater name on the global stage,
Absolutely.
I recken, Steve.
Which they already have.
Yeah, totally. So DMA'S will be supporting Liam Gallagher. Couldn't think of a more fitting band.
Absolutely.
Throughout the UK this November before returning to Australia. And they play Fairgrounds Festival in December and Laneway Festival in February. Let's have a listen to Silver by DMA'S.
Did you feel like heaven? Did you ring like silver in my wasting light? Still, I'm trying to find. Did you sink through the battle call? Did you ring like silver in my wasting light? Still, I'm trying to fight. Sword beneath your eyes. It's funny that I think of you right now. Knowing all the years that turn to clouds, I'm still coming down. And you know it ain't that way. Feeling all the things I could not say. I'm still coming down. You're still coming round. Yeah.
Silver by DMA'S. Awesome track there, Cam.
Certainly was.
Absolutely. And next track, Cam, is by Melbourne rocker Ali Barter. Now, she's released her new album, Hello, I'm Doing My Best, featuring the latest single, Big Ones. And now, I saw Ali open for DZ Death Rays last year, and she was awesome.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was really caught up in her show, which can be hard for a support act to do, as sometimes the crowd just don't give a shit.
That's it, yeah.
But everyone around me was just having an absolute blast, which is awesome. Her new album is also awesome as well. I thoroughly suggest checking it out if you haven't. Starting right now with their latest single, this is Big Ones by Ali Barter.
Hey, hey, you said just be yourself. Hey, hey, leave your hair like it is. Don't you know, baby, that I know what I'm talking about? He said it's so good, just leave it to me. Protect yourself from the big ones. Protect yourself from the little ones too. Don't get lost in the sauce. Don't let them bring it down. You're good as you.
That was Big Ones by Ali Barter. Up next is Steve's favourite band because it's named after him.
Oh,
Loser.
a little harsh, but I do love these guys.
Yeah, they like to get it all out on stage, don't they? Which is their new song, Get It All Out by
Hey!
Loser, which is our next song, Steve. Now, Melbourne rockers Loser have released their latest standalone single called Get It All Out, which is available now through Domestic La La Land,
With like domestic Tinky Winky
Poe,
and Tipsy?
Tipsy Whipsy,
Yeah, I don't fucking-
Swishy Washy. Fuck, this is what we're coming to. We're talking about Teletubbies now in the middle of a Loser presentation.
Yeah, exactly.
Poor Loser, if they're listening to this,
They're like, what the fuck are they talking about?
they're talking about fucking Teletubbies while we're trying
There was
to
nothing in their
promote a
press
song here.
release.
I know.
It was, oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
nothing. Maybe they should come out wearing Teletubby suits now.
Well, there's 5 of them. So
Anyway, Steve, we do digress. This song is about the feeling of weight being lifted that comes from purging your darkest emotions, which we've all got to do sometimes,
Oh, yeah.
Steve. Like, everyone needs a bit of an outlet.
Yeah.
You can't bottle that shit up forever.
No, you can't.
Write that down.
I did. It's written there
You
on the
did
script.
write it down. Yeah. I'm very much about that. Like, why let it fester inside, then comes out like a big angry piece of shit? No one wants that, Steve.
No one wants that.
That's why I like going to gyroscope gigs. You just get everything out
Exactly.
there. Yeah, get it all out.
Exactly. Otherwise, you clog your toilet up for weeks.
Now, Steve, as we were saying, you've been a massive fan of these guys for a while now, since their debut EP. Now, this song is another great track in the early days of this band.
Yeah.
Loser will be playing shows also in Melbourne and Sydney this November, as well as supporting Slowly, Slowly, my boys.
Yeah.
And Ruby Fields. For dates and tickets, check out Loser's Facebook page. But let's check it out now.
Funk Soul Brother.
Get It All Out by Loser.
Something's wrong again. What does it take to get it all out? Tired of everything, like a better world without doubt. In my wildest dreams, there's enough it seems to help myself just get it all out. I could barely breathe as I fell to sleep. The darkness helped me get it all out. And I'm not ever right. I just wanna confide. I don't wanna give up on you. And I'm always far away. As you were day to day, there ain't much I can give to you.
That was Get It All Out by Loser. Fantastic stuff there, Cam.
Yeah, that's rock and track.
Rock and track. This is a rock and track as well, Cam. It's by Brisbane rock outfit Understory, and they've released their new single called Windbreaker. Now, how is that funny? You think back to farting on Simple Plan again.
Never. I would never do such a thing. I'd never even think of that.
God, jeez, you're so infertile. I mean, you're not infertile. You're so infantile.
Are we doing fart jokes now? Can we, I mean? No, I'm joking. Go on, Steve.
Oh, thank you very much.
Breaks my wind.
The band formed in 2018 and have spent the past year honing their craft at venues throughout Queensland. They've just supported Hands Like Houses on their Through Glass tour, which is a pretty good get as well.
That's awesome.
I really like the opening guitar riff that sets this track off on a great direction, and I look forward to hearing what comes from their debut EP, which will be released on November 15. So right now, Cam, this is Windbreaker.
That was a real deep one. That was getting it all out, wasn't it?
This is Windbreaker by Understory.
Windbreaker, Steve, by Understory. Up next, we've got Junkies by Ocean Grove.
Yes.
Melbourne band Ocean Grove have released their new single, Junkies. That's with the S is a $sign, Steve.
Yes, so in case you thought it might have been a cent.
We wouldn't want to ruin what's a good title to a good song.
Yes.
Now, which comes off the back of their sold-out national tour in support of their previous single, Ask for an Anthem. Now, we've interviewed Ocean Grove a few times now, so which is awesome. It's always good fun. Absolute top blokes to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
So back at Download Festival last year and then Unify this year, we caught up with Dale and Sam.
Friendly chaps.
Yeah, great guys to chat with. Go back and check that out on the podcast. Great. Yeah. Junkies is a relentless track and it really pairs well with Ask for an Anthem. It really solidifies the band's sound heading towards 2020 because they've had a few changes as you could hear in the interview. Now, Steve, Ocean Grove have been announced as support act for the Amity Affliction.
Yes.
Which would be a great bloody tour.
Oh, yeah.
That's for their upcoming regional tour. And according to their press release, the band are due for new music very soon.
Ooh.
So I'll look forward to that. But right now, let's have a listen to Junkies by Ocean Grove.
Everybody looking at us like we're strangers. I see the picture to our step, but who can blame us? We wanna take to see what you could savor. Dip in your finger, taste the new flavor. With the Scarface long hair, one ear, big hits. With the big bass
Cam, that was our 250th new music track on Garage Rock Podcast.
How awesome is that? That's awesome, Steve. And how good. It's been a cracking episode because I literally just cracked my back. I don't know if that. Did you hear that?
I did hear that.
Just before? Yeah.
I tried to ignore it, but you're contorting your body in front of me while I'm trying to do the outro. I mean, that's kind of distracting.
Oh, sorry about that, but it just had to happen. I think I popped a disc. Pop something.
Is there anything you'd like to add before we say farewell?
Yeah, I filled up my water bottle at work today in this church.
Yeah.
And because the priest come out and we're working out the front.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, do you want to use the toilets or get any water? Go for it. So I'm like, I'll go fill up my water bottle because it's a hot day, Steve.
Of course
needed to rehydrate.
Absolutely.
And they said, go use the tap over there. I'm like, all right. I said, is this holy water? And he's like, no, it's just tap water. I'm like, same thing. Anyway, Steve, anything you want to add?
I don't know if I can add anything better than that. Actually, Cam, I've been signed up to do Movember.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm doing that. So if anyone's listening and they would like to donate, give us money. And it goes to men's mental health, men's health in general.
Cause.
Exactly. So I absolutely hate facial hair. I know you like facial hair.
Well, I don't have much of a face, so I need to fill it out somehow.
Your beard does give you an artificial chin that's not really there.
No, I've got a weak chin, so I'd have to grow one.
Exactly.
Either that or it's like $16,000.
What, a chin lift?
Chin extension.
Chin extension. They're a thing, are they?
Jaw relocation.
Oh, have you looked into it?
Not cosmetically.
Right.
I was having a lot of pain in my jaw, and they said to fix it that you need to have a jaw relocation.
Right.
And basically, it's exactly what they break your jaw halfway through and extend it out.
Wow.
And sort of like graft the bone, if that makes sense. It's supposed to be fucking painful.
I would imagine.
And I said, I'd just put up with it.
I don't blame you. Yeah, far out. So, yes, I'm not getting a jaw extension. I'm just getting a bit of a mustache thing. I'm thinking about going the Charlie Chaplin.
Do it.
You think?
Do it.
It's been like since the 40s since anyone's done that.
Yeah, I can't remember. Someone...
Yeah, it was a whole bunch of kids.
Naughty little Hitler.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, doing the Movember, so I'll be getting the fucking caterpillar above the lip and see what happens.
Had I been more organised, Steve, I would have organised to do a reverse Movember where I shave bits off my face and then leave the mo at the end.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to do like reverse Movember as in just get rid of the mo so you kind of look Amish.
Well, we could.
I
could.
I mean, there's no rules around this shit.
I thought, the things that you can do, like you can, shave the middle bits and then you got like the mutton chops.
Yeah.
And then shave them off and then you got the goatee. And then you've got the handlebar and then...
The Shannon Knoll soul patch.
The merkin, if you will. Or another funny one to do is I could have just shaved, because my beard's quite dark.
Yes.
I could have just shaved it off.
Yep.
And started again, but grow the mo like just on your cheek or something. So like it moved or it blew off.
Yeah. I was asleep on a wrong angle last night and it kind of fell. Oh, man. We were in that delirious point. We better wrap up the show.
I'll tell you what, Steve, if we're still doing this podcast...
Yep.
In a year's time, if we haven't like taken off and become famous dancers or something.
Well, that's always a threat.
I'm doing it.
Fantastic.
Next year, one of those things.
Cool. Yeah, one of those things. Yeah.
All right, love you.
But we'll be back with our next podcast very soon. And like we said, what is the most craziest thing you've seen a rock star do? Remember that. Hit us up, garagerockpodcast@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook, Instagram. Be our second follower on Twitter. That would be nice.
Thank you very sweetly for listening to us so neatly. I've been Cam.
And I've been Steve.
It's time for bed.
Bye.